And when we get 10% of the financial world to understand this, it goes viral. People quit thinking the way they used to think then. That's our mission. And that's going to involve lots of people that understand this and participate in this. And that's why we created the Nelson Nash Institute. It started out being the Infinite Banking Institute, but as human beings are, and as agents in particular, there's the tendency out there to try to reinvent the wheel. And there's all kind of efforts that are going on to rebrand whatever we're doing. Well, we were advised by one of our practitioners that the clue is that y'all named it wrong. If you call it the Nelson Nash Institute, now they can't replicate it. All right, so that's why. Now, if you're going to apply, you got to pass an interview. It's going to be a 30-minute interview on GoToMeeting. We want to know what your intentions are and why, so forth. Do you meet the profile of what we're looking for? Will you be compatible with what we're trying to get done? Do you see that this is not about just selling life insurance? This is about recapturing the banking function like it ought to be. And then you got to go through a course that was written by Bob Murphy, who is the most published Austrian out there today. All right, and after you finish that, if you want to join the organization to support this effort, there's about a $500 annual fee to remain active in the effort. So that's what we're up to. That's what we're about.
The annual think tank as well.
Yeah, well, the think tank is a year. Also, there's something else that happens 2 times a year that it's off-campus type thing that you can benefit from also, as well as being on the practitioners list of on the practitioner founders list on the website. Coupled with the fact that you can get a very, very good education on our website. It doesn't cost you a thing. Anyway, you're reading this article, Stephen, in the last, by the way, you can get this article off of our website, it's there. But you finish the article, it says, if you know what's really happening, you know what to do. Well, that's what this course is about, just teaching you what's really happening with the dividend paying mutual life insurance guys. Now, in summary, creating your own banking system, the vehicle already exists. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. All you got to do is just buy the stuff. It's dividend paying whole life insurance. But to show you how screwball the thinking goes out there in the big wide world, in our part of the world, there's a magazine called Southern Living. There's a counterpart in the western part of the world, Western Sunset or something like that. I forgot what the name of it is. But Southern Living is an outgrowth of Progressive Pharma. It was a publication there in Birmingham that had been around for years. And one of the top executives was a very good friend of ours. And one day he calls me and says, let's go to lunch. And they were in the mindset of creating a new life insurance company. And they wanted me to hit it and so forth. I listened patiently. And then I just had to tell them that, sir, there's no point in trying to reinvent the wheel. We've got too many life insurance companies out there now that should be in existence. You know, at the end of World War II, there's probably 400 companies, and they got up to something like 3,000. Well, there's been attrition since that time, and rightfully so, because these are stock companies should never have got into business. I said, all you got to do is just simply go buy high-priced life insurance on all the key people. That's all. You'd be much better off. Just learn how to use what is already there. It already has all the admin, executives and strengths and so forth. You do not have to meet a payroll. It goes against conventional wisdom. Now that is not a negative, that's a plus. Now Bob, back there when I was putting this all together, I had a radiologist client up in Coleman, Alabama, about 40 miles north of us. And he was coming along very well with this back in those olden days. But every time I go to have a review with him, Bob, his first question, who else is doing this?
Yeah.
I can't find anybody that would substantiate what you're teaching. Am I the Lone Ranger? I said, well, what if you are? You're doing it right, they're doing it wrong, praise God, you're lucky. Well, he stuck with it. By the time he retired, he had much more than double what he'd been doing before. Now he's retired and he sings my praises. But up to that time, Bob, the hardest thing I had in reviewing with him was to keep him between the ditches from not listening to all the dang noise that prevails out there. But that's the world that we deal with. Now the policy is engineered to get better every year, no matter what happens. We've already alluded to that many times. But Mark, we can help them in the airplane world, can't we?
Sure can.
Let's get in 747, Mark, and we're going to Tokyo.
No, it's a 777 now, Nelson.
Okay, but we want to make it more dramatic. That's 4 engines instead of 2. All right. Now, y'all been on a 747 probably.
Yeah.
All right. Big old, about almost 400 people.
Sure does.
Now, we're in San Francisco going to Tokyo. Now, we get about 200 miles out of Tokyo. The airplane is much more efficient than it was when we took off. Right, Mark?
Burn off a little fuel.
Yes, sir. 6 pounds per gallon. But the engine is still putting out the same power out there. So logic tells you it's going to get better every mile we fly, right?
Pretty much.
And you got a weed eater, right?
3 of them. I got 3 of them.
Okay.
He's gonna go home and buy one.
All right. Okay. Now, Mark, we're going to climb out. We're going to 40,000 feet because we're going west. Now, you guys don't know any better. You're going west, you got to go even altitudes. You're going east, you go
Odd altitudes.
Yeah, odd altitude. All right. Now, we're going to climb to 40,000 feet, but we've been climbing about 20 minutes. We're on about halfway there. The captain comes on the intercom with the message, folks, don't y'all get excited about this, but I've got to tell you something. There's no need for you to be excited. I'm required to tell you that number 3 engine is flamed out, and we can't relight that fire. We've got to go back. They can't land, can they, Mark?
Depends on how much fuel they burned off.
Well, they hadn't burned off very much. We've only been up about 15 minutes or 20 minutes or so. You try to land with that much fuel on board, folks, and you're going to break it. You got the dangest fire you have ever seen in your life. They got to stay out over the Pacific and burn that fuel up or dump it in the atmosphere, and either one of those things just ticks Al Gore off something awful.
Beats the hell out of landing heavy, crashing the gear.
Now, you know, things, airplane, I keep up with, Mark, I don't know whether you do or not, but I'm sure you do. Are y'all familiar with the Asiana Airlines that crashed short of the runway in San Francisco about 18 months ago?
Yeah. Sure am.
Yeah.
Infinity Plus.
777. You know, they finally released the name of the pilot and the co-pilot. The pilot's name was Sung Ting Wong. And the co-pilot's name was Wee Tu Lo. And you guys have a lot of fun. Mark and I feel sorry for you guys that don't drive airplanes. All right, you finished the first part of the course. There's 5 parts to this. We'll never get through them all, but we'll go as far as we can. And tomorrow we'll do some explanations of the illustrations and things of that nature, coupled with a few other things I think you need to know before we call this to a halt.